In that moment of rage and emotions, somebody does the unthinkable.
A day meant for celebration turns to tragedy. The investigation into a double murder-suicide in Lakewood Ranch.
Plus, a Punta Gorda teen behind bars. The threat that put him there.
And a local congressional candidate dies unexpectedly. Reaction and what it means for voters in November. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Dwayne Lindo. Thanks for joining us. Jacqueline Matter has the night off. Our top story at 6, a day began with a young child's birthday party, ended in a murder inside a gated community in Lakewood Ranch last night.
3 people are dead in what deputies are calling a double murder-suicide. This happened just inside the gates in Lakewood Ranch community off of Mashalit Drive. ABC7's Taylor Torregano has the story.
It's one of the last places you'd expect a murder, let alone 2.
We're investigating what appears to have been a domestic dispute between a husband and wife that led to a double homicide and a suicide.
Police say the fight started at about 10 p.m. Sunday night after the celebration of 2-year-old Caitlin Bennett's birthday. Her father, 53-year-old James Bennett, and his wife, 35-year-old Sylvana Bennett, started to argue. Then gunshots rang out.
Deputies got a call from a woman who had escaped this home, who is the mother of the shooter.
James's mother, 76-year-old Carla Bennett, grabbed Caitlin and ran when she saw that James had killed his wife, Sylvana, and his stepdaughter, Andrea Barberena Rojas. She was a 16-year-old Lakewood Ranch High School student.
Sometimes these things just become so heated, and in that moment of rage and emotions, somebody does the unthinkable and kill somebody, and then that turned into not just one shooting, but 2, and then he turned the gun on himself.
Deputies say at this point they can only speculate what exactly was said to set James off. But regardless, it's a tragedy that could have been avoided.
The people who are dealing with domestic issues need to just take a deep breath, step back, and go someplace else. I mean, you know, we're not going to sit here and say what could have, should have happened here because we don't know all the circumstances. James made a horrible decision.
ABC7's Taylor Torregano reporting. In other news, a Punta Gorda teenager remains behind bars tonight, accused of threatening to shoot people at Northport High School's homecoming dance. Police say 19-year-old Anthony Grimaldi threatened to shoot up the school homecoming dance in text and social media messages to his ex-girlfriend, a student at Northport High. Police say Grimaldi told her he would carry out the threats if she danced with any other boys this Saturday night. Investigators say they arrested him after learning he had been in possession of a 9mm handgun and AR-15 rifle for about a month. While he didn't have access to those weapons anymore, police say the threat alone warrants a $300,000 bond.
This is a disruption at the school. It causes fear among students and parents, but we certainly have a responsibility to look into all those things. And I think, you know, overall in this particular case, I think people should have some comfort knowing that we did take it seriously, we did look into it, and charges were filed, and you know, he was arrested.
Sarasota County School District says since none of this happened on the campus, they will continue homecoming as scheduled and will be using the guidance of Northport Police for the students' safety.
A big shakeup for the November election. We've learned that Democratic candidate for the 17th District congressional seat, April Freeman, has died. Her husband, David, posted about her passing on Facebook. Her cause of death was not released. Freeman, a film and television producer who lives near Fort Myers, won the Democratic congressional primary and would have faced Senator Greg Steube in November for the 17th District congressional seat, being vacated by Tom Rooney. The district includes southern Sarasota County. The Sarasota County Democratic Party released a statement about Freeman's passing, saying April was a beautiful person. She worked tirelessly for veterans, seniors, and the entire community. We are heartbroken and send our condolences to her family and friends. State Senator Greg Steube also released a statement saying, "My thoughts and prayers are with April Freeman's family in the wake of her tragic passing. I respect her service to our community and admire her commitment to the causes she cares about. Out of respect to her memory, next week's campaign event will be canceled." And here's what it means for the general election. According to the Florida statute, it appears that though Stubbe will now face a candidate named by a committee made up of all the county chairs from the affected counties. The committee will need to name a nominee within 5 days to fill that vacancy.
Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections is reminding voters the last day to register to be eligible to vote in that upcoming election, Tuesday, October 9th. Tomorrow, Ron Turner's office will host a number of voter drives in the county. There are drives set for Selby Public Library, New College of Florida, the Inglewood Sports Complex, and other locations. Go to our website, mysuncoast.com, for a full list where you can register to vote. Well, some areas getting some really heavy rainfall at this hour.
Right.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for the latest, Bob.
And we are about to right here in downtown Sarasota too. Rain is intensifying. The storms have really got an extra push with that west coast sea breeze pinned right along the coast. You'll notice just a couple of hours ago it wasn't much, and then all of a sudden explosion of storms right along the sea breeze as that east coast breeze has met up with the west coast breeze all the way from Charlotte County northward through Manatee and Pinellas County at this hour. If you have any trips planned, you might want to hold off for a while, about an hour or so, especially along I-75, as the lightning is intense. The winds can be gusting as high as 40 to 50 miles an hour. And these strikes, nearly 800 in just the last 15 minutes across Charlotte County all the way through Manatee County, and specifically right there near Northport and also Warm Mineral Springs, Tarpon Point. That's where the heaviest lightning strikes are occurring. The rainfall rates over 2.5 inches per hour, and that is causing some ponding of the roadways there in Lakewood Ranch, getting some intense lightning as well. Not as much there, but a little bit more so down near Clark Road and then into Bradenton and Palmetto. All this moving off to the west at around 10 miles an hour, and we can expect it to be on Siesta Key at around 6:23, and looks like the Lakewood Ranch webcam really showing those storms intensifying as we had pretty nice weather throughout much of the day. Your complete forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. The Sarasota County School Police Force has another resource at its disposal now. In a unanimous vote, the Sarasota County School Board approving the use of the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office databases. That means should an emergency happen, the school police officers will be able to access databases like the National Crime Information Center, which contains National Sex Offender Registry, missing persons, and an instant background check system.
The Sarasota County School Police Department is saying thank you. That's after a generous donation from the Venice Police Department. Venice donating 2 of its used 2011 Ford Crown Victorias to the force for extra security. The vehicles had already been replaced and were originally set to go on auction. The next step, the cars will get new paint and graphics.
Sarasota County School Superintendent Todd Bowden's Student Advisory Council meeting today. That council made up of high school students who tackle student issues. Today, the group discussing ways to make the first year of high school, that transition, easier. Some of the ideas so far, mentorships and school tours.
Looking ahead, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is planning to host a response to active shooter training seminar tomorrow. The training will be held from 2 to 4 p.m. The goal of the free event is to help businesses and organizations prepare for an active shooter situation, understand the mentality of an active shooter, and learn how to best respond.
Well, more help is on the way for people still dealing with the aftermath of last September's Hurricane Irma. Today, the State Department of Economic Opportunity announcing the Rebuild Florida program. That initiative will help low-income Floridians in 14 counties pay for still uncompleted home repairs caused by the storm. Now, the Suncoast area, including Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte counties, are not included.
There's still a lot of unmet needs out there, and so we listened to those communities, and housing, rebuilding and replacing housing was the biggest need, and so that's what we're going to be focusing on.
Priority use of the funds will go to low-income families with people over 62 and young children, along with individuals who have disabilities.
1 week from today, several new laws will go into effect. They include allowing credit cards to be used for background checks when firearms are purchased, and harsher penalties for animal abusers, people who steal bee colonies, and for people who trespass at airports. Also going into effect, benefits for first responders who suffer post-traumatic stress disorder. Under this new law, first responders who have witnessed the death of a minor or witnessed a gruesome death can file workers' compensation claims for lost wages. The new law is expected to increase workers' compensation costs for cities and counties that employ first responders by upward of $7 million.
The way you buy Walt Disney World tickets is about to change. A new online planning tool will debut next month. Prices at the 4 theme parks will be tweaked so they're the same instead of the Magic Kingdom having the higher price. Disney introduced flexible pricing at U.S. parks 3 years ago as an incentive for guests to visit during less busy times. Each month was divided into value, regular, and peak days. Under this new plan, which debuts October 16th, prices will vary based on that particular day.
The Bradenton Farmers Market returns to downtown Bradenton next weekend. The seasonal market will be starting back Saturday, October 6th. It will run from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. until May 25th of 2019. The market takes place on Old Main Street with over 30 vendors. That's between Manatee Avenue West and 3rd Avenue West in downtown Bradenton. And guess what? Parking is free.
Price is right.
Oh, yeah.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a big win in the battle to learn more about red tide, new technology that may lead to better days ahead at the beach.
Plus, new details in a deadly Florida parking lot dispute caught on camera. What newly released records show leading up to the shooting.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Stop in and save big on new Ram trucks during Ram Power Days at Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years running. Get an all-new 2019 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $24,999. Or save big and get up to $14,328 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, Eye Comfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
The Players Center presents the wild Broadway season opener, Annie, Get Your Gun. There's no business like show business. This slice of magical American musical theater will thrill you with the classic tunes of Irving Berlin. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Annie, Get Your Gun, September 18th through October 7th. Let's go on with the show.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. And right now, you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Authorities releasing hundreds of new pages in the case of a white man accused of fatally shooting a black man in a parking lot dispute in July. According to a transcript of Michael Drake's interview with Pinellas County Sheriff's detectives, Drake said that if Marquise McLaughlin had retreated or even stayed still, he wouldn't have used his gun. But a witness and the video shows McLaughlin did move back. Prosecutors have charged Drake with manslaughter.
Today, a big windfall for research at Mote Marine Lab. The state of Florida is giving the Sarasota-based lab a little more than $2 million to test technology to fight red tide.
I'm very excited about the future of science and technology to help us fight this red tide.
Mote Marine CEO Dr. Michael Crosby and environmental agencies around the state unveiled plans to mitigate the effects of red tide. The funding will include using a form of specialized clay to fight the effects of the algae.
We are moving forward both in a tactical manner and a more strategic manner to address the impacts of this red tide event now, but also setting the stage and a strong foundation for developing those technologies.
Last month, Mote tested an ozone treatment system in a canal in Boca Grande to determine if it could kill red tide cells. The test was successful, and now they're looking to fund that project as well as other mitigation technologies Mote is experimenting with.
We should be getting to that point in time that we're able to forecast red tide events the same way we're able to forecast hurricanes.
And although the general consensus is that red tide will continue to be a fact of life here on the Sun Coast, Crosby says the partnership with these agencies will help in the long run.
So there'll be a heck of a lot of work, but I hope, I'm pushing that our scientists and our partners will be ready to at least start doing some field pilot projects in about 6 months' time from when we begin.
All right, red tide's still around. I guess it's not as bad as it was back in August, but
it's such a huge story. You know, I got some texts over the weekend from some people living in Venice Inlet. A big snook died right there in the inlet in Venice, and there were other fish struggling as well. So it's not going away anytime soon. And we have not going away either are the thunderstorms that are taking place here along the Sun Coast. This photo was grabbed off a camera, a 360 camera, looking northward now near Siesta Key. That line of intense storms progressing toward the coast, already generating lightning on area beaches. You should be indoors off the beaches right now, anywhere along the Sun Coast west of I-75, as an intense line of storms has really built up. You just see the firing up of those storms. That west coast breeze is kind of hanging right there with a general easterly flow. That east coast breeze has made its way all the way over to the west coast, and when those two collide, it really intensifies the storms. We're going to see similar conditions again tomorrow afternoon, and then on Wednesday maybe a little bit more southeasterly flow, but boy, the lightning has been intense in South Sarasota County. Another round heading toward Northport. You had one go through already. Another one is on the way in your direction, and as well as Inglewood getting some heavier rainfall. Now that lightning that had been rather intense is weakening somewhat, but still firing up into Sarasota and North Sarasota County. You can see that activity near Siesta Key, now approaching Siesta Key, also downtown Sarasota. It's starting to break up a little bit into Manatee County, but Osprey, Nokomis, Palmer Ranch specifically getting some heavy rainfall right now near I-75. The driving is treacherous right now. Remember, if you are driving in the rain and you're using your wipers, make sure you turn your headlights on. You can see that rainfall not as intense in Braden, still getting a few lightning strikes there all the way over to Heritage Harbor and near Waterleaf, some rainfall there, but not as intense. Near Bayshore Gardens, some rain as well. We're going to see these storms continue on this westerly course for the next hour or so, and then things will start to calm down, say after 7, 8 o'clock tonight. We'll look for fair skies overnight, and then they'll be back again tomorrow afternoon. The summer pattern not leaving anytime soon. It's going to stick around through Tuesday and even Wednesday. I mentioned Wednesday maybe a little bit more south flow, so the convergence won't be as strong, but there'll still be some storms around even on Wednesday afternoon. Your day planner, start things off, looks good for drop off for school. It looks to be good. Fair skies. Noon, hot and warming up. We'll have high temperatures near 90 degrees again with afternoon showers and storms developing. Well, it's really active in the tropics once again, but the good news is nothing having an impact on land at this point. The system that you see right there, remnants of Leslie. Leslie actually still a tropical storm. This is remnants of Kirk, another tropical wave coming off the coast of Africa. And we have this system we were talking about last week, maybe moving close to the Carolinas. There's a 50% chance developing. There's the path and track expected. Again, this is Leslie right there, and this is a system that could develop just north of it. The one heading toward the Caribbean looks like the long range models kind of dissipate that system as it heads into the Caribbean, so we'll watch that closely. This one going to get very close to the Carolina coast. This is, again, southwest of Bermuda, heading off toward the northwest. The computer forecast models suggest this northwesterly turn, and then more of a northerly turn, then a northeasterly turn. Some of them keep it offshore, while a couple take it right onto the coast. It wouldn't be a big storm, but could still produce some pretty good rainfall there. As it moves off pretty quickly, though, it's not going to stick around. This one's looking rather healthy. This has a real good chance of redeveloping into another tropical depression, if not storm, as it heads to the west. Temperatures have cooled now because of the storms around, and that heavy rainfall could get some gusty winds up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. The heat index gone down. Obviously, the winds have turned to the east now, indicating that line has moved through the airport or at least near it. 91 the high today. Much above average, and nationally this cold front is going to catch the system and take it off into the Atlantic pretty quickly, so it's not going to stick around. For boaters, winds will be out of the southeast turning to the southwest at 10 knots, seas running 1 to 2 feet, and the extended forecast and good chances for scattered storms every afternoon, but until then it should be pretty nice but hot. Temperatures staying above average right on in through the next 7 days. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Still to come tonight on ABC7, a rescued sea turtle playing peekaboo.
The adorable moment caught on camera.
This week, Supreme Court showdown. The nominee's accuser set to testify about her sexual assault allegations, where the negotiations stand. Plus, what's next for Rod Rosenstein? World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644. If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
Do I need medical exams, things like that?
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Video captured by the Florida Aquarium shows one of its rescued sea turtles playing peekaboo for the camera. Take a look here. The loggerhead turtle, one of 2 rescued sea turtles who live in the aquarium's new Heart of the Sea exhibit, which opens to the public next month. The 100,000-gallon exhibit will feature more than 400 animals, including sharks, sea turtles, hundreds of fish, rays, and coral trees as well. That's it. Looks like a happy turtle there.
Yeah, it sounds like an exhibit our producer Christina would attend. She likes this kind of thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. I'm sure she'll be there soon.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Big storms around, should be over in the next hour or so.
All right, Bob, thank you. Thank you for joining us. World News Tonight with David Muir is next. Have a good night.